Hi, welcome to my class. And this is a class on consumer equilibrium. Now, before starting consumer equilibrium, let us start what you mean by utility. Utility is basically when a consumer satisfies its own want because the wants are many and definitely there is some kind of measurement to the utility which has been given by Alfred Marshall and Higgs and Allen. Now, their views are totally different. Alfred Marshall has given the cardinal measurement of utility. That means you measure the utility in terms of utiles. Okay, that means suppose say I consume oranges and oranges. So definitely by consuming orange, my utility is 5. My utility is 10. So basically I am assigning my utility in numbers and that is called as cardinal measurement. Now Alfred Marshall has given the law of diminishing marginal utility, which says that as you keep on consuming your units of a commodity, maybe from I am consuming 2 units of oranges, I increase to 3, 4, 5, 6. Definitely my utility will increase, but it will reach to a maximum point and then it will start declining because my satisfaction level has been reached. And if I start consuming more and more after the satisfaction, it is disutility. So my utility falls down. And that is called as law of diminishing marginal utility. Now the problem with cardinal measurement is you can't specify your satisfaction in terms of numbers. You can't say that okay, I consume 5 oranges and my satisfaction is 10. You can't do that. So another improvement on the utility aspect has been given by Higgs and Allen. Now Higgs and Allen took ordinal measurement. Now what you mean by ordinal measurement? You can always consume commodities and you can always say that I prefer more of oranges rather than apples or more of apples than the oranges. So what I'm doing basically, I'm comparing two commodities. Now definitely Higgs and Allen has given the ordinal measurement through indifference curve, where indifference curve is a two panel kind of diagram. You, that means there are two commodities. You can raise it to n number of commodities, but for simplicity, for looking at indifference curve, I assume that there are two commodities. Suppose say oranges and apple. So definitely I will say that I prefer more oranges than the apple, or I am indifferent between orange and apple. That means I will consume equal amount of oranges and apples. Now, this is what are the properties of indifference curve. Now, there are four properties. The first property is indifference curve slopes downward to the right. The second property is indifference is convex to the origin. And the third is the indifference curve cannot intersect each other. And the last is the higher the indifference curve, higher is the level of satisfaction. These are the four properties. Now this is what indifference curve look like. Now you can see there are three indifference curve: blue, sky blue, dark blue and red. Now here there are two commodities. This is good X, this is good Y. Okay. This is the first indifference curve, this is second indifference curve, this is third indifference curve. Okay. Now let us look at what the property holds true for this indifference curve. First is that indifference curve slopes downward to the right. Yes, it is sloping downwards. That means when I consume more of good X, I will consume less of good X. More of good Y, less of good X. And in the same time, more of good X, less of good Y. Correct? So it is sloping downward, and this shape is called as convex to the origin. Now, what is the third is that indifference curve cannot intersect each other. Now, this also holds in our indifference map where there are three indifference curves, but they all are parallel to each other. They all are parallel to each other. Now, if you look at this, they are not intersecting. So, indifference curve does not intersect each other. Okay. And the last is the higher indifference curve represents the higher level of satisfaction. So I will say there are three indifference curve, IC1, IC2 and IC3, where IC3 gives you the higher level of satisfaction rather than IC2 and IC1. Okay. Now what is the consumer equilibrium? There is something which is called as budget line. Now what budget line tells you? Budget line tells you that how much amount of good X you can consume, how much amount of good Y you can consume with whatever amount of money you have in your hand. Suppose say the price of oranges is 5 rupees and price of apple is 7 rupees and I only have 50 rupees in my hand, so I have to divide 50 rupees in between consuming oranges and apples. So that is my budget line. So it is nothing but if you see the price of X divided by the price of Y will give me the slope of this budget line, and the slope of budget line is negative because I can either consume oranges or either consume more of apples. Okay, so it is minus Py divided by minus Px. Okay, so in between it is minus. So slope of the budget line is negative. And you know the indifference curve also slopes downward. So what is the first condition of consumer equilibrium is that the budget line should be exactly tangential to your indifference curve. That means if you have 50 rupees, you should consume that 50 rupees by buying apples, buying oranges, and that should gain your maximum satisfaction, that is from the indifference curve. Now whatever may be the allocation. Okay, the second point is at the point of equilibrium, the slope of indifference curve and the slope of budget line should be equal. And the third and the last is again that it holds the property of indifference curve, that indifference curve should be convex to the origin. Now let us look at the diagram. Now here you can see this is good 1 and this is good 2, and this is what I was talking about, the slope of budget line. So it is minus P1 upon P2. So this line is nothing but your this line is nothing but your budget line. This is your indifference curve. Now your budget line is also a constraint line because you can't consume more than 50 rupees. It is, you cannot afford that bundle of goods. So you can only buy in good 1 and good 2 with respect to this 50 rupees. Okay, so this at this point, this is an equilibrium what I am talking about. If your equilibrium is inside this budget line, that means you still can consume more of goods, but you have a suboptimal point in your equilibrium. Whereas if you are outside this budget line, definitely you can't afford to consume these goods. So definitely the only point is this, where there is a consumer equilibrium, where your indifference curve is exactly tangential to your budget line. Okay.